I need help. I don't know how to start these videos anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I had, introducing myself, saying what I'm gonna do, but I don't like it anymore. I need something fresh, something new, something that's never been heard before. What's up, bros? My name is... No, that's definitely taken. Anyway, what's up? You know what it is. Loudmouth Grenadian. Back with another video, another topic for today. And the inspiration. Yeah, you'll see why that's funny in a minute. For today's video, it's just... Last week's video I did, dating. The dating scene. Not the dating scene, but the pressures of dating on a black man. And sort of a branch of that is what makes a good black man in the first place. There's no point, crying and complaining about the dating scene if you're not the ideal mate in the first place, That doesn't make sense. It's like having no qualifications for a job, but they're complaining when they don't hire you. Why are you looking for it in the first place? You need to do something different. You need to match a set of requirements. And you need to make sure that you're looking for someone who wants those requirements in the first place. There's no point having a set of qualities and skills and whatnot when the person you're interested in doesn't want them. You're just wasting your time. So you might as well look for someone who puts those skills that you have as a priority and then take it from there. But the main focus for today's video is on inspiration / role models for men. Now, to me, to everyone, it's like a well-known fact that men need an ideal role model. Someone to teach them right from wrong, someone who can, tell them this is how you do something, this is not how you do something. Just to make sure they're on the right track. Something to lay down a foundation. Someone who isn't afraid to tell you, well, if you're wrong, you need to do this. Or I wouldn't do it that way, I would do it this way. But furthermore, a role model could be anyone. Anyone. It could be your dad, uncle, grandpa, coach. It could be your teacher. It could be your neighbor. It can be a celebrity. It could be someone who just gives talks on how to be a man. As long as that person who's doing the job is good at that job and what they're telling you makes sense to you and makes sense to society as a whole. You're not being a good man just for the sake of yourself. You're being a good man for the sake of everyone around you, everyone who looks to you, for your partners, your children, people who you work with. However you present yourself as a man, that's how they're gonna see you. So you need someone who you can rely on to teach you the proper ways to do so. And another, reason why I've decided to do this video is because there's sort of been a rise of a recent role model who may not necessarily be the right role model. You've probably heard the name before 1,000 times, Andrew Tate. And yeah, it just seems that he has grown this cult of personality around, what he thinks is a high-tier man, how a woman should be treated by a high-tier man, how a woman should treat a high-tier man. And I'm not gonna lie, initially, I was sucked in. I was duped. I listened to what he had to say and it sounded good to me. It did. But then when you went deeper into the rabbit hole and you started to hear other beliefs of his, you're just like, this guy is crazy. This guy, how does he have an audience? How does he have an audience? And in terms of role model, is he a good role model? I don't think so. the way I see it is, he's someone who tells you statements that most people will believe, most people might agree with, but then he will shoehorn his own beliefs, his own system of how it works, and confuse the two so you end up believing both of them anyway. And he's most impressionable with young men my age who want to make money, get the girl of their dreams, just look for someone to help them. But what makes him not the greatest role model is the extremes to which he wants the men to act. You know, if your woman's acting up to, change the way you have relations with them, manipulate them. If you have a girl, don't need to talk to any other man because you're their property. He sees women as their property, and as a role model, I believe you should be teaching young men that. You're creating a generation of men who are going to be disobedient, disrespectful, and just treat their women like rubbish. But I feel like a closer analysis on him deserves its own video, its own, lecture, whatever. Today we just want to focus on the role model itself. And the story of Andrew Tate is more of a cautionary tale. You have to be careful with who you trust, with who you look up to, who you listen to who you are taught by. This will bleed into who you are as a person. And a good role model will bleed in essential things, stuff to help you, to help produce good men for the future. That's the way it should be. And a common search, a common place for good role models is the internet. There's always going to be people who are saying, oh, I'm looking out for the next generation. I'm trying to get men back on the right path. I'm trying to get men to do this and do that. But you have to be careful. Because yes, their goals may be good, but the methods in which are shambolic. Making you pay money just to get taught. But teaching you stuff that isn't going to do you good in the long run. This is the thing with most, I don't want to say scammers, but people who believe they're doing good. Because they're so convincing, you believe it. You want to do better. But in practice, it doesn't work often. And it's based on just luck and chance. And that's where I fall out with most role models. Because the way you expected me to act is luck and chance. I'm a black, chubby guy. Most of what you're saying to me doesn't relate. Go to the gym. I know I need to go to the gym. I know I do. Teach me further than that. Let's take going to the gym as step one. What else is there? And so I thought in this video, with the rest of the video, we could just talk about, good role models for men who are looking for one, essentially. Not everyone's blessed with a father, uncle, coach, big brother. Sometimes not even a mum. You do have, the mom who fills both roles, but even then, every boy needs a man to teach him the ways. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And so, I have a small list, not too many, 4 that I can say, yeah, these are good role models or good sources of information for men, for boys, for young men who may need a guiding hand, may need what's the word I'm looking for? A pulse on a situation. Okay, so the first one, I recently found this one. He's very good. I like him a lot. It's Raising Boys to Men. And what he does is, he's a father. And his brand is trying to communicate the importance of raising boys properly. Because he only has 2 sons, so he can't speak on raising boys. He can only speak on the sons. And what that entails is talking about, the relationship with their mom, because him and his baby mother are not together, but they're on good terms. And it talks about, putting your bitterness aside, putting whatever you have aside, and just focusing on raising the child properly. And he does this through communication with the mom. His oldest son is 15, so he does this by talking to the son, letting him understand what he's trying to do, what the end goal is, and basically, I thought this is really good because it's someone who's taking his time, taking his experiences and putting it out into the world and seeing if people agree, disagree, why. Sorry about that. And basically just laying it all on the line. And what I find good about him is he's using his experiences, using what he's been through as a father, and trying to teach both generations, which is, maybe new parents, maybe, I should say both, multiple generations. So like new parents, old parents, young men, young kids, trying to teach them, look, this is what we as a parent have to go through. This is what me as a father has to teach my boys. Because he has, I think, multiple baby mothers. I think it's just one. He only has like 2 kids, and he's just trying to teach, the responsibilities of raising up kids. So I think he's a good one. Raising Boys to Men on Instagram. Check him out, he's a good source. Another one who I would say watch their content so you feel is Celebrity, or Celebrity if you want. And she's a woman, and she looks at holding people accountable. It's mainly women, but I don't want you to watch this account and be like, oh, they're shaming women and good for them, they need to shame more women. No. It's about accountability. It's about looking at a series of examples and be like, this is wrong, this needs to change. Yes, the majority of it is women, but her philosophy is she's married, she's had a father in her life, she's had good relationships with men. And so she is able to look at a situation and be like, no, this is not how you treat men. This is not how you do things with men. And I feel like as a role model, whether you're a young man or just a man in general, to look at a woman who is able to identify where people need to take more accountability, that's a good sense of a role model. It's a good thing as a role model to see someone who can point out the flaws, point out where someone went wrong. So a lot of her content is screenshots of conversations between men and women. Some of them will be like women who are more interested in money than the man. Some of them will be like a woman would say a statement that's not totally agreeable, and she calls them out on it, and she sticks by her guns. Some of them will be women abusing and using their kids for ammo. And I feel like her upholding them to that standard, getting them to admit accountability, is good, and that's what a good role model does. Yes, a role model tells you what to do, but it shows you what not to do and what to expect from some people in the world. So yeah, check her out, Celebrity, however you want to pronounce it. Check her out on Instagram, or Queen of Accountability, that's her name. Another role model that I've recently seen is Poor Man's Podcast, and he is a man on YouTube he does things outside of YouTube, but I mainly watch him on YouTube. And he covers topics that people may say it's a bit far out, it's a bit, what's the word for taboo. But it's what to do with like men and the struggles of a man. That's why it's called Poor Man's Podcast. So you might do, look at the wants of a woman, the negative side of feminism, the negative side of child support. He always uses like statistics, he always finds his facts, his reasons, and that's also a good thing for a role model to do. To not just say, okay, this is something because blah, 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 but to show you why with statistics and facts. So it covers a range of topics concerning, building up men. Good men in the dating scene. How to avoid bad women in the dating scene. How to build up your future. How to progress. How to make it forward. So I feel like he's a good role model in that sense. And the last one I'm going to say is Alba and Preach. Now, they're a pair of comedians, and you might think, oh, well, they're comedians, you should take what they say seriously. But oftentimes what I've found is people who are able to make jokes about anything usually have their head screwed on straight. That's just the way it is. And these two, I find, have takes and opinions that some I agree with, some that I haven't even thought of it that way, that open my eyes to a situation. They cover a range of topics from, dating, politics, societal issues, stuff like that. And I find like their reaction, their takes, their way that they think, I find it's good. In the sense that maybe you haven't thought of it that way and they offer a fresh take. Maybe it's something you may disagree with, but through them explaining, you might take a second chance on it. But I feel like as a role model, they're good in terms of content. I'm not saying, oh, you should praise them and do this with them. Just in terms of getting an idea of what is good for men, these two have it. And I feel like these are a good online source for a role model. But yeah, that's just a quick video on it. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I might do something further on it, but we'll just have to see. And yeah, thanks for watching.